Okay, welcome all. My name is Abigail Emerson. I'm the VP of Strategy for 818 Digital. Welcome to our Tech Thursday. We're very excited today to welcome Max McVeigh and Karen Silvera from Squadlocker. Karen is the 818 account manager, and she's wonderful. She's been doing a fantastic job for 818 schools for a long time. Max is a product specialist. He's going to walk through some of the Squadlocker solutions to show you all, how you can manage your apparel this fall and gear. It's certainly a very uncertain time. Not all of us know exactly what's going to happen with sports, but Squadlocker has adapted. They've made some really cool tech and solutions to help you navigate that. So I'm going to put some contact information in the chat box. Anyone can ask any questions throughout. We're going to try to leave some time at the end to address those questions. If there's a good point during the discussion, I will queue those up for you, Max. So if you want to just get started, then that would be great.
Awesome. Sounds good to me. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Karen, I don't know, did you want to say anything before I go through and just walk through the platform solution?
So basically what Max is going to show us is the platform that we provide to all of the schools and organizations that we work with. This is the online store. It is a DIY platform, but it's certainly something that we can work with on an account executive level with you to do things that we have, like landing pages where all of your sports could have a different store. But this is, Squadlocker is definitely revolutionary in this service and providing monogrammed custom gear to your community, on demand as the orders come in. So this is basically the store builder, and this is the experience that you could either have doing it yourself, building it, or once we make a store, we put it back into your hands and you can edit your store. There's admin dashboard control. It's all part of this overall experience.
Awesome. Yeah, so what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to dive in. I'm going to walk you through the DIY step of the store. And so what we'll do is, without further ado, I'll just click on this Build Your Store call to action button here. And what it's going to do is, I accidentally clicked the wrong thing. So I'll just click Build Your Store again. And what it's going to do is it's going to bring us up to the first section where we want to choose from. So think of this as your table of contents. So it's saying choose a product category. And what this is going to do is going to populate our next step with one of these sections already selected. So I'll just go ahead and select performance tees. And what it does is, I like to call this as our digital catalog. So I'll click out of the tutorial. And what this is now we're seeing, so you saw that the performance tees I had selected on that table of contents page, that's now just populated this filter. So what we have here is this digital catalog of over 65,000 SKUs, which is pretty daunting, to say the least. So what we have here is that on the left-hand side is a different filtering system. So if you've ever shopped on Amazon or eBay, this will probably look very similar. So what I can do is I can say, okay, let's take, for example, let's say my team's colors are, Kelly green and, dark gray. So what I'll go down here is I'm going to go through this filtering system and say, okay, show me performance tees that are, we'll go with light gray, white, and let's do forest green. So what you just saw here is now it's narrowing down our selection a little bit deeper. So we're now just seeing, that dry fit performance style tee in the colors that match. And so we can see all of the, the pricing. These items happen to be on sale. And if we wanted to, we could dive in a little bit deeper. We could click on that little information button to see all of the product details. So what you've got here is you've got the product SKU, the name. I have a quick button to click if I want to add this button, the product to my store. We can see the size range that this style runs in. So it's small to 4XL. All of the other available colors for the store, and then also the product description. So So what I'll do is I'll quickly just click the add product to store button just so we can add this to our store. So you saw behind here is a little modal window popped up and you saw that shirt just appear. So I'm going to click out of this little window here. And you can see that shirt is, you know, we've got a My Gear store up in the header, and you see the count is 1. So that's just because we have only added 1 item to our store. So if I wanted to, you know, I could quickly go through and click, you know, the plus button right here on this shirt to add it. You see it because it's the same style, it's actually just stacking up behind it. But what we've got here is if I wanted to continue on, I could go ahead and add any other shirts that I see as I see fit. So you saw I just clicked the UA Locker T 2.0 t-shirt. So that's the t-shirt version of the long sleeve. Again, if I wanted to click another version of it, I could go and just simply click the plus button. So fast forward a few steps. What I'll do is I'm just going to build out a few item store just to give you guys the sense of it. So I say, for instance, I'm happy with the performance tees section, and I want to go and move right over to hoodies. So I can deselect this, and now what it's going to do is it's going to show me every category, but I still have the colors selected. So I can go ahead and just say, all right, you know what, show me hoodies in those selected colors. And if I wanted to get more specific, I could go down and say, you know what, show me only Under Armour and Champion hoodies in men's and women's styles for these hoodies. So we still have a pretty broad selection. What I could also do is I could filter by certain, one of these featured filters by recommended. So if it's a recommended new product from our platform, new product, on sale, or MVP. MVP is really interesting here. And so what I'll do is I'll show you MVP. I'm gonna add, I'm gonna actually remove these, and I'm just gonna show you MVP. And MVP is going to be products that we have a very, very great relationship with the vendor. We actually pre-book all of the inventory in our warehouse, in our decoration facility, just so we can pull that off the shelf even faster and not have to have that transition time of getting the blank goods to us. These also have a top of the line return policy. So any items that have the star next to it that indicates it's an MVP, it's going to be, it's a very great product, very fast shipping. So our standard shipping times on most items, on our standard store items, there's going to be between 10 and 14 business days. Any of these MVP items, again, with the stars, have a great return policy, and those will also ship out a lot faster at 2 to 5 business days. So those are great items if you're in a pinch, if you have an event coming up, just something to keep mind of. So I'm going to go ahead and unselect this, and we'll just go through, and we're just looking broadly at hoodies. So, you know, agnostic to brand, we're just looking at the colors of hoodies that we could add to the store. So I like this lady style here. And let's just say I'm going to add a couple more options here, just to give you a sense of what we've got. So you can see the sweatshirts I've added are now up here in the top section of the gear store. You can see the count is now 7. Let's say I'm happy here and I'm going to move on to headwear. So let's say my team, we specifically want some Nike headwear. So we can go ahead with our headwear filter selected, and with our colors selected, we can go down. I'm actually going to clear that, and we can go through and select Nike. So what we're going to do is now we're just seeing hats that are either dark green, light gray, or white, made by Nike. And what I'll do is I can just, again, hover over any of them. You see both either the information button or the plus button. And I could just simply click the item that I want to add, and it pops up into my gear store. The count went up again to 8. So I'm just going to add this green one as well. Excuse me. And I'll just add a few more products. So I'll just sift through here quickly. Let's say these 2 polos, some outerwear. Oops, that's because I've got a couple more items, filters selected. So we'll clear that one. We will clear, let's clear white too, and say maybe I want some black. We'll deselect forest green. So again, we're going to be seeing all of the items that meet our filters. So we're just saying, show me outerwear in black and light gray. So we've got some North Face products right here. So let's just go ahead and just add these 2 items to our store as well. We'll throw in these vests for men's and ladies. So I think I've got enough products in my store, at least to give you guys a general idea of what the store is going to look like. So again, we've got my gear store. I went through and I added these long sleeves. I looked at the product description. I could see the colors that were available. Then we went through and I added these hoodies, and we added these Nike hats. We specifically filtered by Nike brand just to get that hat. Then we added some polos and some outerwear. So my next step is I'm gonna add the logo. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit add logo. And what this is actually pretty interesting. So what's gonna actually happen is it's gonna ask you to either upload your logo from your file browser or request a free logo. So that's something great with Squadlocker is we offer free graphic design. So we have a team of 20 graphic designers here that are ready and willing to create the dream logo of your choice. So you'd work with us to request your artwork, and you'd be able to, what we'll do is we'll send you over a mock-up when it's ready. That's usually between 12 and 48 business hours. And then once you're happy with the artwork, we can add that directly to your store. So what I'll do is I'm just gonna upload a logo. So I have a few logos that I've already saved here. And what we'll do is we'll go ahead and I'm just gonna upload this, this Spartan head here, just to give you an idea. So what we're doing now is this Spartan head is beaming right up to our servers. We're saving this file in our servers, and it's right now it's going to actually put this on a sample from our store just to give us an idea. So sometimes people will upload a logo that's in a JPEG format, which gives a nice white background on it, which looks a little silly on the stores. So we have a tool that'll actually remove that. I've actually uploaded a PNG just because I've used the system so much. I know what file types it likes. And then it asks to verify your logo colors. So we have a set of code that actually reads the logo that you upload, and it tries to get as close as possible to the logo colors that it sees. And this helps us know what colors we're going to actually produce, because sometimes what Johnny's screen might show as maroon on Susie's screen looks like cardinal. So that's why we have this, just the verification step, just to make sure that we have the right artwork and we're not producing a Kelly green logo instead of a dark green. So I'm just going to select the dark green here, and I'm going to move forward and hit save and continue. Again, I mentioned that some people upload a JPEG, which will give that white background. We have this tool that'll remove the background. In this case, I don't need it, so I'm just going to preview store. So this is where we're going to actually give our information in. So we'll sign it, we'll create our own account. So what happens is once you create your own Squadlocker account, you can come back to your store at any time throughout the year to access it, to edit it, to add more products to it, to change the fundraising, to add fundraising, to request your fundraising payout. So it's very important that you remember your login information. Again, we do have a service team that's able to reset all of your passwords and everything. So not too much of a worry, but I already have an account. So I'm just going to log in with my test account. So bear with me while I just log in. Now I have a few stores in here already. So you're going to see that store, the store that we just created, but you're also going to see a few other stores that I've added. So what we're going to do is we're going to name this one right now, and I will name this Max's Test Store, Mad Max. Right, I don't have a website for my team. A baseball program, and I'm a prep school league, and my team size is just about 51 to 100. My role, I'm the coach. So I'm going to hit Save Store. So this is actually going to bring us right over to the top of the editor. So what we have here is we have my team name here. We have all the logos that I just uploaded, which is that single logo, and all the products that I just added. So it does what's called lazy load. So you see as you scroll down, it starts to load more and more products. So I only had 15 products to begin with, so it's not going to take too long. But as you scroll, it'll load all those products. So I don't really like how this, the Spartan head looks on the darker green apparel. So what I want to do is I'm going to change that logo by going to Manage Logos, and I'm going to select the items that I want to change the logo on. So in this case, it's almost every dark green item. So I can actually filter by color and select all right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, okay, I've made my selection of items that I want to change. And if I had more logos in my account, so if I've logged in the past, if I've added logos to the store, they'd all queue up right here. But in this case, obviously, I just built this with you guys on the call here, so I don't have any logos. So I'm going to go ahead and click Add Logo to Store. And what it's going to do is the same thing is I'm going to upload a logo. So because I've had an account before, it's going to allow me to look at different logos that I've uploaded previously associated with other stores. So I'm just going to upload the logo that I have here. So I'm going to upload logo. And again, I'm just going to search out the one that I need, which is I know this white one, and I'm going to hit open. Again, it's doing the same steps where it's, you know, beaming this up to our servers, pulling the color that it sees, white, verifying, and I'm going to hit save and continue. Again, there's no step here for background removal. And I'm going to just, my last step is just to select it, change the logo, confirm. And you can see that this logo just changed on these items. So I'm gonna clear this filter, and you can see now that we've just made that change on these darker green items. And let's just say I'm happy with that. So I want to add fundraising to the store. So fundraising is a great feature, and we're constantly rolling out new functionality with it. So what I can do is I can add a percentage-based increase. So I can select anywhere between 5 and 15%. What I'll do is I'll just do a 10%. And just a general rule of thumb is our 10% fundraisers we usually see the most often, where it's enough to earn the program, enough money to back in, but it's also not too much where it's you know, pricing a customer out of the item. So just a side note there. So I'm going to hit continue. And what it's going to ask me once the store goes live and everything, it's going to ask me who we should make the check to, where we're going to send it. So yes, fundraising with Squadlocker, if you didn't know previously, fundraising with Squadlocker comes as cash. It's not as a rebate. It's not as a credit towards your account. It's cash that you can put right into your program's bank account. So let's just say I'm happy here and I want to send this out. So I can hit save and shop. And what this is going to do, it's actually going to bring us to the live shoppable store. So it breaks everything down by category, just like you saw in the builder. So performance tees, hoodies, headwear, polos, outerwear. So if I click on any of these items, let's just say this, let's look at this ladies advocate hoodie. I'm gonna go ahead and click on it. It's gonna bring us into this, the actual product. So we see the product description, the price. Again, we've got some express production available. That's because this is one of those MVP products. So as a shopper, I could just simply select the size, you know, I'm not going to fit into any of these sizes probably, so I'll just hit large. I could hit add to cart, and again, it's just a similar shopping experience as if you were to do any other e-commerce platform. Let's just continue shopping for one more item. Let's just say I want to get a hat. So we'll go ahead and grab this hat. I will add that to my cart as well. I'm actually, you know what? I'm interested in personalizing this. So let's personalize it with my name, and let's add it to the cart. So I'll go through here and I'm gonna remove the one that I didn't personalize. So I'll just go ahead and remove this from my cart. Simple process. And checkout is just as simple as well. If we wanted to enter a promo code, you could go ahead if you had one. Most of the time we're running promotion codes up here as well. In this case, there's free shipping this week on orders over 125. Sometimes it says, you know, enter coupon code WAVE12. So various times our marketing team is running different promotions up here. So I could apply coupon code there and I can check out, simple as that. I'm just gonna skip that step because there's really nothing changing there. Again, so I could hop over to menu here and I could go find your store. So, or find my order, find our store. So if, you know, if I was a teammate that was just looking for our store and I came to squadlocker.com, I can go do that way. So we'll go over here. Let's just go back to my dashboard. So we'll go to my stores. And we call your account your dashboard. So you'll hear me say dashboard. It's the same thing as your account. It's just your home base. So once you log into your Squadlocker account, after you building your store, this is your main view. So you can see this right in the middle. It says my stores. So as it makes sense, you'll see all of the stores that you've created here in your my stores section. So this Mad Max is the one that we just created. And if I wanted to go through and edit it, I can click this button right here. I could also view the store, which is the same thing, the same view that we just had. So I can click that as a great view button. I can share my store with that does is it allows us to bring out a bunch of different share tools. So we could copy the store link. We could download a flyer. So it actually creates a clickable flyer that you can download right from your store. You can share out a tweet, Facebook, or email, or you can, and if you have updated the flyer, you can go ahead and refresh the flyer there as well. So we'll just go back there. So there's a bunch of different sharing tools this way. I also want to show you one more thing that I did forget to show you, is that there is also share tools for customers. So if mom wants to share it with grandma, they can go ahead and share up here as well. So there's the same sharing tools on your live store. Customers aren't going to see this edit store button, so they would just see these share tools up at the top. Right, so I'm just going to hop back into my stores again. Just a few more things that I wanted to show you, and then I'll take a break and open it up for questions there. So I can go through, I don't have any orders on the store, but if I did, I could go through and hit view order history. And what it would do is it would bring up a spreadsheet of all of the orders that were placed on the store. I could download the order history. I can view the order total, you know, across the entire platform, all the items in the store, how many items have been sold all time, and I can change these filters as well up here. Awesome feature to track who's ordered what, when they've ordered. Just a great tool to know here. And my last thing that I do want to show you is fundraising. So fundraising is a really, really cool feature. So a lot of these are my test accounts, so you're not going to see too many payout options here. But once you do have funds in your stores, you would see this accrue up here. And you can also see if you have multiple stores, multiple teams with fundraising, you can see how much is available, and you can request a payout in this section right here. Awesome, awesome feature. This is just one of the new functionalities that we released. So this whole page is brand new. It's a great feature to use. So I'll go back to the dashboard. I'll keep sharing my screen. Yeah, go ahead.
We had a question on that just before you flip over.
Sure.
Jerry Jackson's asking about the percentage that the school would get back for the fundraising stores.
Yeah, sure. Do we have the specific question on it, or
yeah, she's
how much the percentage is?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So that's when you go through and build your store. Oh, go ahead. Let's see if I can see the Q&A. I don't see anything in there.
It's in the chat box.
So when you choose 5, 10, or 15%, that's the percentage from each item that you earn, and so it adds that to the item cost. So if you have a $20 item and you choose 10%, the customer will pay $22, and the school will earn that $2 difference. And so that's how that fundraising. So that's why we keep them at 5, 10, or 15, 20%, and sometimes 15% can be too high, because we have such a wide variety of product and price points that we offer. If you're on the low to medium end of the price scale, it's still high quality product like Gildan and Russell. You know, you don't notice maybe the 15%, but if you're looking to have an Under Armour store for your organization, it does bring those prices quite high, like Max said earlier. You just want to keep, you know, an eye on what's in your store and kind of use that to let it guide you as far as to what percentage. But as Max did say, most people use 10%, and that is universally true. It seems to work well with both your high and low price points. Was there another question after that?
Let's see. Find the chat again.
How often? Yeah.
How often on this? Okay. Yeah. So what happens is that our site is linked into all of the vendors, for example. So I'm gonna, and this isn't your direct answer, but it's part of the answer. We're linked into all of the vendor sites. So if Under Armour discontinues an item, or they go out of stock of an item, it disappears from our platform. And they only also release new items only periodically. So they're not releasing new items every month or every other month. You know, it's seasonal, and we have an excellent merchandising team who is always on top of the new items and adding what they think are going to be the best sellers to the platform. And that is also based on what Under Armour, for example, thinks is going to be the best seller. And when they think an item is going to be the best seller, they'll run huge inventory order. And so those are the kind of things that we're really looking to add to our platform. I would say you should check the platform seasonally. So spring and summer, you know, we're adding that late winter kind of thing. We're not, but you know, spring and summer, we're not adding pom-pom hats yet until the fall. Would that be about right, Max?
Yep.
Great. Yeah, Max, back to you. If you want to, as you know, most of the 8 to 18 customers are athletic administrators. So if you could talk through sort of the admin controls on the dashboard, because there are the administrative controls and then there are
Sure.
coach controls. Most of the athletic directors will be, offering this as something that the coaches can manage their individual team stores. But it's, obviously it's a wonderful way of managing the school department brand, keeping things tight like logo and colors, and enabling some really productive fundraising and school spirit through the coach stores.
Yeah, so going off, and thank you for that. Going off of that, definitely some great features that I did miss that I want to go over really quickly is the inside our dashboard is we can actually assign. So say say I'm the athletic director of the program and I need to assign some roles to manage our store. So obviously I've got a lot on my plate. I can't handle, merchandising the store, monitoring the store. I'm going to hand this off to our booster club, or the booster club president. So I can go ahead and click edit on our store. And I can go to this little tab called store managers. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow you to invite somebody else outside of you to actually edit some features of your store. What that's going to do is it's going to allow them to manage the product offerings, the logo offerings, all of the not as important offerings, like, so they don't have the ability to edit fundraising, and they don't have the ability to add subsequent managers to your store. So they can do everything else. They can hop in, they can make edits to the program, they can make edits to how many products are offered. Great feature to use. So if I wanted Karen to help me out with this, I could put her email in here, and send this invite over to her, and she would get an invitation to actually log into our store and manage that store this way. So this would be a great use case for either if you had a coach that you wanted to manage this, or if, again, like I said, you had the booster club president, or even if you have a really go-getter, team captain, you could have these guys have access to the store. Again, they don't have access to the most important things like fundraising and adding subsequent managers, but they can go through and add and remove products from your store. They can manipulate some of the logos. They can upload and download some of the logos to the products. But it really allows you to get some brand control on all of your gear. So everything's in the same place. Every logo is the same logo. All of the logos in your account are going to live in your logo section. So obviously there's a white logo here. So you'll see that one. That was the one that I uploaded a few minutes ago. As we go through, I could add more and more logos in here. So I could say, let's add another property of style logo. And these would all live in that manager's account. So again, if you assigned a manager, they would be able to see these logos. So you could really, really get granular with, okay, hey, go ahead and add a couple of products for the springtime. The logos are already in the account. All they'd have to do is log in with their email if you've invited them. They go into your store. They can add the items. They're going to see these logos just like we saw the logos up at the top when we were manipulating some of those logos. So I'm going to go back to the store details here.
And Max,
yeah, I was going to say, I just saw a Q&A pop up.
Oh, no. One of the other things I was going to say is that, obviously, as these ADs know, and what we've heard often is that, not every coach has the same amount of engagement in store creation and promotion.
Sure.
And so if you could talk to one of the benefits of, correct me if I'm wrong, there's one link for parents so that, it can be promoted across multiple channels by the athletic director. If you can kind of dive into that, how it's, sometimes you'll get a complaint from a parent who has an athlete and one's in wrestling and one's in lacrosse, and the wrestling coach, there's just no information, or there's no, it's hard to find the link. Lacrosse, they're doing a bang up job. So
Sure.
how do you manage that as an athletic director?
Definitely, definitely. I did just want to, before I go ahead and answer that, I want to answer Sherry's question. She had asked if they're obligated to meet any sales goals or anything. There's absolutely no commitment there. So we have zero order minimums on the stores. You can build a store, spend 20 minutes building the store and never sell anything. We're not going to hold you to it. You could build a store and sell one item, and we're not going to hold you to it. So I don't want you to feel like there's any obligation to stick to a certain amount of quota. So I just want to answer that really quickly. So with that, I'm going to just save this information there. Trying to think what I want to show you guys. Karen, do you have any example of an organization page, just so we can show that one link?
Yes.
If not, I have. Do you want to share, or do you want me to?
Sure, absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, I'll stop share and I'll let you share that one. So Abigail, Karen's going to answer that last question there. So Karen, if you want to take over there.
So one of the things that, as a feature that we have that Abigail has brought up is our multi-store landing page. And this is an excellent presentation for a school. So you can link it directly, or I'm going to go a little differently so you can see how it works. So when your organization searches for their store, just waiting for my internet to. So basically what it is it's going to lay out all of your different stores as tiles. And so each sport or extracurricular activity is a tile on the landing page. And your parent can just go in and it's just one link to your website instead of having a link for every single sport. You certainly can link your sports individually, but this is just a much easier way to do it and a much better presentation. Let me try a different screen. I'm trying on my incognito screen here. All right, so
I have it up on mine.
Here.
I have it up on mine, Karen, if you want me to share mine.
Hold on, I'm there.
Okay.
Thanks, Abby, sorry.
No problem.
So we're gonna go to Pinewood, and you see when you search for the stores, you see the light gray text Pinewood Apparel, and those are all of the stores that are gonna be associated on the landing page. I'm actually gonna, we're gonna load into one and then I'm gonna back out because it's just the easiest way to see it. All right, so this is the Pinewood Prep. We're gonna backtrack out through the menu.
And Karen, just so you know, your internet's going. We're lagging a little bit behind your audio, so if you could just slow down a hair.
Sure, of course.
Thanks.
So as we went backwoods out to see the landing page, this is what Abby was mentioned, that you would link right to this. And you can see what a beautiful presentation this is. All of your sports with their different logos laid out for the convenience of the parent. And it's just sharp looking. It's just very sharp looking. It's something that we can do for any organization. You know, the direction generally does come from the AD. And then as Max was talking about managers, you know, your volleyball coach can be manager of your volleyball store, your football coach, manager of the football store. And as you as the AD would stay the owner. And that's important because, you know, as Max mentioned, you do control the fundraising, when that gets paid out, who that gets paid out to. And it also allows you to have brand control. Brand control is really important. It ties into the identity of your school, in your community. It helps a very clear message when your athletes or your fans or your other students in the student body or even staff who are buying from these stores are wearing the same logo out in public. It helps identify and spread out that school name. So this is a presentation that we can put together for any school. I know that some schools with a lot of sports, what we'll do is we'll do it by season. So, you know, for we'll get your fall sports ready and then your winter and your spring. And, you know, by giving your coaches the ability to access each one of their stores as a manager, you can also put your uniforms in the store. A lot of organizations, both public and private, are now having students buy their own uniform just because of the expense. in managing budgets, and we can put that uniform in the store. But I know you're probably thinking, you would be worried about, did they buy their uniform on time? Who bought their uniform? From your admin dashboard, you have the ability to see everybody who bought goods from you, what they bought, when they bought them, and if they shipped. So it kind of gives you that extra control to be able to make sure, the volleyball team bought their jerseys in time for the first game, and that there are not going to be any problems with that. And while this is a Spiritwear store here, and these items are being ordered on demand, or if it's an MVP item, as Max talked about, we do have that on hand. But when you put a uniform in a store with us, we're pre-ordering you uniform inventory, so it's on hand to make sure that that uniform gets out quicker for you. And this is a lot of time off your hands as AD, and a lot of time off your coach's hands. It's a lot of work. I think we can all agree to collect orders from all of your athletes, tally up those orders, make sure you get everybody's payment, and getting that payment to your vendor producing that, and then he gives you one big box of goods. Now, I know there are other organizations who do it a little differently, but they give you a window, like you need to do this. You're not going to have any of that with Squadlocker. There are no ordering windows. We'll order those uniforms one by one. So the athlete who orders on Monday gets his in, a certain amount of time, and the same time frame for the person who orders from Friday. We're not batching all your orders up, waiting till we have them and then delivering. I know some organizations do that with Spiritwear too, and some people wait 4 weeks to receive their goods because they ordered at the beginning of the window. You're not going to have any of that with Squadlocker. We're an on-demand business. And so we're going to ship your goods on demand. And so you can use, we're looking at the volleyball store, but you could call this your coach's gear store. If you want all your coaches across all sports to have a unified coach's look, whatever that may be, you can create that, and we can create that for you here. I'm going to stop share on that and see, Max, did you want to weigh in on any of that?
No, that was beautifully said. Right on spot. Yeah, so we could open up the floor for questions or anything, and happy to take any questions or share my screen again.
I have one. I know there are some of the ADs that I've spoken with are curious about a couple COVID specific.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Abby. Thank you. Absolutely. One of the innate features of Squadlocker is that it is a contactless delivery system, because one of the things about the order, and I didn't mention this, is we're not giving you this huge bulk order that you have to break down and then make sure all your students receive. Whether it's uniforms or Spiritwear, we're delivering it right back to the player or the family or the athlete. And so that box doesn't have to hands. They're the only ones who are getting it. One of the other big things is Squadlocker, has really invested a lot of time and energy to offer a really wide variety of face masks. Over the ear style, gator and bandana style. We have them from toddler, youth, and multiple adult sizes. And these can be put right in your store. You have the option of having a logo on them, or they require a logo. Actually, if they go in your store, it's about a 1.5 by 1.5 inch side logo, and it is a predetermined logo space. There's a wide variety of colors. I even have gators that come in like the digi camo and the camo print, and like kind of like a sprayed paint print. So you can get a little funky if you want, but we're also selling over the ear through Badger Sportswear in bulk, and we can price that by volume for you if you need like a high number. There are minimums like 24 pieces, and that gives you a little more creativity. It's a sublimated over the ear face mask. And that actually never comes to our hands. It would ship right to you from the manufacturer. Badger also now has a school dedicated line. So if you want more of a school collegiate type of look on the mask, they do have those that they do in a minimum of 50 pieces. That's something that we're starting to advertise. But, really, they talk about wearing this face mask to get the numbers down. And that's something that we've really been able to contribute to in this COVID market and ensure there are options for people. And it's not just one fits all. The Badger ones that we sell are 3-ply, but the Badger Performance Gaiters are a nice, thin, like stretchy, dry fit wicking material. So they're a little breathable in a sense. They're all breathable, but they feel like they breathe better in that thin ply. We're also getting ready to work with Under Armour and distribute their athletic face mask. This tends to be a much more expensive item in the face mask market, but it is made specifically for athletes. It almost where like it has a bump up over the nose and the mouth to just make that breathing even better. And that's something that's going to be coming out onto the market very soon. One day that Under Armour did release them, they sold out their whole thousands of them in 24 hours. So this is a really high on demand item as well.
Thanks. It's really helpful. You know, I think there are a lot of schools with parents sort of poised to get their kids ready and geared up to either go back to school or at least, you know, go back to school half-time, whatever it is. But, you know, there's, I know, at least I know in my household that you know, I still haven't committed to the mask purchases and stuff. And if I do, you know, I want it to be with my school's colors and logo, you know, so to
Right.
show solidarity and
Absolutely.
support. So, so it's something that, you know, as the athletic department, you could take advantage of really quickly as a fundraiser, even before school starts. And that's one of the benefits of the Squadlocker 8-18 partnership, you know, that you can promote one landing page with any of those stores through one link through a registration system. So you can send email alerts to those that have registered either last year or even the year before, those that have registered for sports this year, those that have done some summer camps through our registration platform. So, and then you can post the link on the website. You know, 8-18 websites have a tab, so you can have the Spiritwear store there, and then make an announcement to everyone. Hey, we just opened a new store. It includes masks for the school. You know, get yours. There's also a fundraiser. So it's something that I would encourage everyone to take advantage of, even now, while people are looking for information on school websites and, you know, wanting to support the school and to show some solidarity. So that's one of the benefits of the partnership here.
And I just want to hinge on one more thing is I did not show it during this step, but we do also have, I'll share my screen really quickly. We do have a bunch of face coverings that you can add to the stores as well. So there's actually a section right at the bottom here for face coverings that if you were building stores, you could build some direct to consumer masks right into there.
Great.
And one of the other things that we're hearing so much about from schools is they need to keep masks on hand. So this is a great way to buy them in volume as well.
Definitely. Great. Any other questions before we let these guys go? I don't think so. So, well, thank you guys so much. That we're going to make this.
Thank you for having us.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Karen, if you want to type your email address in the chat box, that would be helpful. And again, as we said, Karen is the 8-18 account manager, and she's fantastic. Reach out to her with any questions. And otherwise, there it is. Otherwise, I think we're.
It went privately though.
Oh, yeah. Here, let me post that.
Let me try it again here.
There it is. Awesome.
Perfect. Cool. Okay. Thank you guys both. Thanks, Karen. Thanks, Max. And
Thank you.
thanks all for joining.
You.
We'll talk to you.
All right.
All right.
Have a
Bye.
great
Yeah.
day.